1, 2, 3, clap. Hi, and welcome to Hey Buddy, Nice Podcast. Over there, sick and dying to death, that's Brogan Hastings.
And over there, wishing I would die quietly, it's Wayne Giovinazzi.
What do you mean die quietly? You've got a cough button. You can silence yourself anytime you want. See? Just like that. Right during the intro. Brogan is currently dying.
I really am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be recording today, should we?
Probably not, but it's, does this count as commitment? It feels like commitment.
Yeah.
I'm committed to the bit of this podcast.
You know what? It's perfect because it's the actual first week that we've committed to doing 2-episode weeks. So we have no choice, but according to our schedule, but to record. Because there's no other time. There is no other time.
Exactly. And if we're really, really lucky, people will hear my sick voice and be like, ooh, like they are when Matt Donnelly gets his sick voice.
The totally real Matthew Donnelly.
The completely and utterly real, not made up whatsoever, Mr. Matt
Person
Donnelly.
that exists, yes. They might be like, gee, that Brogan sounding, the sultry tones of Brogan Hastings. So when is your album coming out?
I don't know. I mean, I don't even know what I sound like.
Look, you sound like normal to me. For the most part, you sound kind of normal.
That's all right then. I feel ill. Yeah.
Look, you don't have the same pep in your step, I guess.
No,
is a way to describe it.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, I did build IKEA furniture yesterday.
Oh, did you? Wait, you went to Dr. Jim's house and built the IKEA furniture for him that he was complaining about?
I wish I would. Lord, Mr. Dr. Jimothy, I can and will build your IKEA furniture for the low price of 1 plane ticket plus an infinite supply of Pepsi. But no.
How about some cold and flu medication as well?
Fuck, if he's got that, I will fucking take it. Jesus Christ.
Hey, he's a doctor. Does that mean he's got a script pad? He can just write scripts?
Oh, maybe he does.
For you?
Maybe.
No, that'd be over-the-counter shit anyway.
Yeah.
Your pseudoephedrine, the kind of crap that you make meth out of.
He probably has connections. He'll know the right stuff to, get me through it.
Yeah.
Can
I just say, I'm not a fan of the Lord that's been added to the Mr. Dr. Jimothy Bartholomew.
It's true though. It's.
Oh, is it?
Do you not know this?
No. What have I missed here?
Oh yeah, this. So from the Discord.
Okay.
I thought I told you this.
Maybe.
No,
I don't listen half the time.
Mr. Dr. Jimothy is an actual lord.
Oh, okay.
You can.
What does that mean? He's a landowner or something?
Yeah. So
I don't.
I think So do you remember on Taskmaster when?
Yes.
They were like they had to buy the Taskmaster a gift.
Yes.
And Catherine Ryan said, "What's your name?" Greg Davis. No,
Yep.
it's Lord Greg Davis. I think it's like that.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I get it.
So
I don't remember the ins and outs, but she got whatever she did, purchased for him, entitled him to the title of Lord. Entitled him Lord. I don't know what English words are.
So.
All right then. Well, speaking of Lord Mr. Dr. Jimothy Bartholomew, we've got a correction to make, don't we?
Do we?
We do. The correction being that we were referring to Lord Mr. Dr. Jimothy Bartholomew's co-host on Pod Therapy, Nick, as Dr. Nick. We shouldn't have been doing that apparently, because Nick is not a doctor.
But we knew that.
I didn't know that.
You didn't?
Well, look, I was going off. I
missed the cough button. Sorry.
I will edit anything like that out. I was going off of your lead when you said you wanted to walk into a room and say, "Hi, everybody." So we say, "Hi, Dr. Nick."
That's why Lord Mr. Dr. Jimothy is Lord Mr. Doctor, because it's a grander title than just Doctor.
What I'm hearing is that all the blame is coming on me.
Yes.
That's normal. That's normal.
I think this comes back to you not listening to me.
I think it comes back to Brogan did nothing wrong,
Brogan did nothing wrong. Ever.
which is that is going to be a runner forever, I think. And you're gonna have to make a shirt of it too.
I will.
I'm not doing it. I think it's launching on. No, yes, it's already launched because we're recording from the future. The episode that hasn't come out yet. That's got the quote. What was it again?
Tuesday's episode has the quote, "I don't make mistakes, I learn lessons."
That's right.
Portal.
Oh, is that what it's from?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't remember it.
Because I wasn't thinking with portals when you said you made a couple of mistakes. I was like, I didn't. I learned lessons.
Oh, well,
it was streaming. It was to do with streaming.
Yeah. It wasn't in. I thought you meant it was a quote from Portal, and I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh great! So I've just stolen this quote from a popular video game circa 2007. And claimed it as our own and made t-shirt design with a cat with a sign around its neck saying, I fucked up with the text. I don't make mistakes. I learn lessons above its head.
No. It's our quote. We own it.
Good.
It's in reference to me streaming portals at bad time.
Speaking of quotes, I did come across another one while editing the last episode, and I wrote it down because I feel like it would make a good shirt as well. I'm not going to say shirt, we'll call it merch. But you said at one point, if you're doing things efficiently, you're doing them wrong.
That's not our quote. We can't use that.
Okay. That's fine then.
That's Seinfeld. That is
oh, okay.
That is a quote from Seinfeld talking about writing stuff, because he used to hire out an office and go and write there because he treated it like a job. And people were like, you could just write. He's like, no, if you're doing things efficiently, you're doing them wrong.
Well, that's fine then. I didn't think you were full of that much wisdom.
No.
Okay. So, yes, is it an apology to Mr. Nick himself? Or was it maybe he felt like we were doing him a good service, like building him up on the It's not that he listens. So,
I mean, I'm still going to refer to him as Dr. Nick. But at the same time, I'm also going to refer to Sin City Shrink as Lord Mr. Dr. Jimothy.
Okay. If he's an actual lord, I'm fine with it.
It's the food, it's like Rio All Suites Hotel and Casino in fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. You can't not say the whole thing.
Yes, exactly. So your illness, do you think have you tested yourself for starters for for the vid? Yeah,
I have.
Negatron.
I tested Thursday night and it didn't come up anything. I might test again just to be on the safe side, but no, I think it's back to regularly scheduled illness.
The sniffles.
And it sucks, man. It fucking sucks.
Do you know where you obtained this illness from? Were you near someone who was not well?
No, I do know that I use public transport to get to work a couple of days a week.
That's
so I think it's very likely that I got it from somebody on the tram.
Yeah.
Or just in general.
Speaking of you catching a tram and public transport, so we have met in the flesh, right? We have been in each other's presence for real. Yeah?
Yes.
But I think my brain has sort of come to the conclusion that you only exist on Zoom now, right? And you don't exist in the real world.
Okay.
Because I had a dream that we're on a Zoom call. So it's not like, I'm going to catch up with Brogan and we go out to pin up pizza or some shit like that. It's like, yep, I bet I was talking to you on my phone on Zoom, which I've never done either. And have we? Not me. I haven't been on my phone. You've been on yours. So you only exist in Zoom now, even in my dream. But there was something very important going on that we were having a discussion about. And I wasn't paying attention, as we've already discussed. Doesn't happen. I don't listen. Yeah, and you were in one of your offices, and I was doing, I don't know, but there was shit going down on my end. But next time, I turn around and look at my screen, and you're on your tram ride home, and you were so fucking pissed at me. It's like, Dream Brogan is angry.
Did I give a reason for being angry?
Oh, because I'd messed up something by not paying attention, and it was for such a long period of time that you were no longer in the office and you were on a tram on your way home.
I mean, I like the fact that Dream Me stayed on Zoom that long.
Yeah,
to
that's
just
right.
fucking glare at you.
Yeah, you were glaring.
Yeah, I think at that point I would probably have connected it to Twitch and said, let's see how long Wayne can ignore me.
Are you allowed to do that without permission? Dream Me could have put down a takedown notice to Dream Brogan and say, no,
Would
you cannot
Would you have had the
stream
balls
that.
to, though, if you knew you'd fucked up?
Well, I can't remember what happened next in the dream, right? I don't remember if I ended the Zoom call or I was like, let's get out of here, shiklaki. Or if I just woke up into real life. I'm like, Brogan exists only in the Zoomverse now in my head.
Did you get self-conscious? Like, did you think, oh God, Brogan is actually mad at me?
No,
That's all right then.
I knew it was not real life.
Because sometimes I forget.
Oh, look. There's definitely dream. I don't often have dreams where they feel real or anything like that. But when I do, when I wake up, I straight away know they're not real, and I'm like, thank fuck that is over, and that was a dream.
Yeah, I think it's less that and more like, well, I dreamed that they were mad at me, so obviously they're mad at me or something. I don't know why, but they are. You know?
See, I don't have that problem. I just assume that everyone is mad or angry at me anyway, or don't like me for whatever reason.
That's your default.
So, yeah, that's right. That's right. So, yeah, dream you. It's still pretty angry. I'm pretty sure you weren't sick though. So, but that may have been the site of the illness. That because it was the public transport. That might be when you got it.
Exactly. I caught it in your dream.
Yep. Yeah. This is starting to get Freddy Krueger territory, is it? Have you seen any of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies?
I've seen the first one, but I prefer, I think it's one of these things that I prefer the lore of than I actually prefer watching the movies. I
think I prefer the Simpsons Treehouse of Horrors episode where it's Willy invading the dreams.
There's that, or Rick and Morty. I like the Rick and Morty Scary Terry one.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yep. The difference being is I can't remember anything. I mean, I've only seen the episode once, so I don't remember any quotables from it, but I will never forget, do not touch Willy. Good advice. When he's put the sign on the thermostat, do not touch Willy. See, last week it was Kez's coughing that got edited out. This week it's Brogan's coughing.
Yeah. And like I say, I literally did set up a one press button. It's not even the usual default Alt-A. It's press 0.
Ooh.
Press 0 to mute.
Numpad 0 or number line?
No, yes. Numpad 0, so it's one of the closest buttons. I wanted it to be space, but it's not.
Numpad 0. I cannot stand a keyboard that doesn't have a numpad.
Yeah, I've tried. I like really flat keyboards. I don't like big clicky gamer keyboards.
You're not into mechanicals.
I like the idea of them, but actually using them, no. Hate it. Absolutely hate it.
Okay. See, when I was a youngin', keyboards were just like that.
Yeah, I do remember that, but I remember them being softer, if that makes sense.
You like a 10-ply keyboard?
Yeah, I want a 10-ply keyboard.
Okay.
I want from a keyboard. I want my buttons to almost not be buttons. I want them to be just button enough to be buttons, but not buttons.
So your ideal keyboard is that weird laser grid thing that projects onto your desk and then you just tap it on your desk?
No, that's the point. That's too much. That's too far that way.
Oh, okay. Too far past the line.
Just above it. Just above it. So they're still buttons, but they're not buttons.
But you want it to feel like you're pushing into a sponge or something.
Yeah. I don't mind little teeny baby clicks, but but it can't be like what's the thing that's in the new PS5? Was it haptic feedback?
The haptics? Yeah.
Fucking hate haptics, man.
You turn it off, do you? Or do you play with it?
First thing I did when I got the PlayStation is I turned off the haptics because that's what put me off getting a PlayStation 5.
Really? Well, you can always turn it off.
I know.
Yeah.
But I couldn't figure out if you could from the trailers and looking online at start. So
Well, it's like Rumble. It can always be disabled.
Yeah, yeah.
See, I like it. I like it like in Borderlands where it's different for different guns that you pick up and things like that. It doesn't add anything to the gameplay. It just makes it a little bit different. That's all. It is just a weird feature. That's all.
Yeah, don't like.
Yeah. See, my keyboard option, I've got mechanical, and I like silent but tactile. So I say silent, but hang on. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
That's my control key, just so you know, because I was scared if I hit anything else, I might accidentally close everything or hit stop on the recording.
Yeah, because you're still having technical issues.
Oh, yeah. Man, we're not going to talk about technical issues. But I said we're not going to talk about it. Now I need to readjust my microphone, so there's probably some weird microphone noises going on. But I am kind of intrigued. There's like a new Logitech series of keyboards, well, maybe they've been out for a year or so, where they've got round keys as well, and they're very low profile.
Oh, I like
So that might be something that interests you. And they're like fancy colors as well. By fancy, I mean yellow, pink. So
you know, my mum, when my mum gets round to listening to this episode, she's probably sitting there going, "Shut up, Wayne! Brogan doesn't need to buy any more shit."
Oh, okay. Like, stop encouraging Brogan.
Stop encouraging Brogan's spending habits. It's not good.
Yes. But you've got money. You have a job. You're an adult that kind of functions.
Not enough money.
Well, who does? Do you ever play the lottery?
Very rarely.
Very. See, the Powerball last week was $100 million, right? I don't remember ever getting up that high. Usually, if it gets to 80, it goes off. Now it's up to 160 million.
That sounds like our Euro Millions. I think the highest that's ever been is 198 million.
Yeah. Wow. So we're just gonna say now. Hopefully by Thursday next week. Well, let's say Thursday 2 weeks from now, we're going to be recording this in fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada, from the $160 million prize.
Living the dream.
Yes. No, but you might still be sick. You don't want to travel while you're sick.
I mean, for Vegas,
we'll get you a private plane. It's okay.
Yeah.
So you're sick and I'm injured.
Yeah.
Because remember how I smacked my knee last recording?
Smack your knee. Why did you do that?
Well, I didn't really smack my knee. I just like bumped it on the desk, and it was already injured from that. That didn't injure it. It was. Anyway, I went to the physio to get it looked at, and basically they told me that, look, I've got stuff to talk about my physio, but I feel like we've already spoken about Dr. Jim enough. But we're going to go into it. My physio looks like a young and sounds like a young Lord Mr. Dr. Jimothy Joe Bartholomew. And I'm not kidding. It's almost off-putting. It's creepy. It's like, oh, this young Dr. Jim is rubbing my leg. I wasn't expecting it either. It's like you're working on my knee and just like starts going up my leg. It's like, hello there. What's happening here? Jimothy, you haven't even bought me a steak yet.
Is he American or is he Australian?
No, when I say sounds like, he talks with the same sort of conviction as Jim does.
So he said Lord Mr. Dr. Jimothy Joe Bartholomew's Australian cousin.
Yeah, pretty much. But he told me that when I was like, it's not, I told him I haven't injured it or anything. It's just, come on. It's like, oh, it's just load, probably. And I'm like, oh, what does that mean? It's like, oh, you've done more than what it can handle. I was like, okay. All I did was walk up some stairs.
And that's too much. How dare you?
Yeah. I say I walked up some stairs. I was up and down stairs all day, like up and down it like 30, 40 times, carrying fucking ladders and shit like that. So that's what it is. But sorry, Kez has just like got a shocked look on her face, and I don't know why. I had to look at what she's...
Kez update.
Hang on, we've got this update coming, I think. Can you hear me? Are you about to speak? What have you discovered?
Not that.
Oh, okay then. We'll keep recording then.
Ooh.
Apparently it's not that riveting. That Kez update is over. So yes, my physio has told me that I am no longer capable of walking, basically. Don't take stairs. I can't crouch down. I tried it at work. I went to sort of crouch down to pick something up. And I just fell onto the ground.
Oh, you know what that means though? That means that next Scoop Fest, if not brings the bus, and it has the "Sorry, I'm broken" sign on it. We can't crouch down and do the
That's
pose.
right.
Because you are broken. Because you are broken.
I am physically
You will have
and
to stand
mentally
and point
broken.
at the sign.
Yeah. But he's yesterday he gave me not yesterday, Friday, he gave me some stretches that I have to do for it because it's going to take like 6 weeks to heal. And the first 2 weeks, he doesn't want any strengthening or anything like that. So it's like, this is the stretch I want you to do. It's like, get down on your knees. And like, what? No. No, that's not where I'm going. No, I'm saying, what? I can't do that because it was going to like hurt like fuck if I do that. I was not insinuating fake Dr. Jim was...
Did the lights go down and Tom Jones start playing?
Yes, but it was What's New Pussycat. It was really weird and awkward.
18 times with one, it's not unusual, stuck in between.
Yeah. But yes, it's telling me to get down onto my knee, like put all this pressure on it, which I can't do. It's like, mate, it's not going to happen. So he's giving me this alternate stretch where I'm meant to lay down on my back, hold up my alternate leg and let my injured one hang off the side of what I'm laying on. I'm like, I'll try to do that on my bed, but I do that on my bed and my foot's just on the ground. So it's like, dude, what do you expect me to use? So I'm going out the back to like this old kitchen table that's outside, laying on it with a leg hanging off the back, one leg in the air, looking at the ceiling because we've got like a cover area. Mm-hmm. And what do you think I could see?
No.
Remember, we live in Australia.
No.
Yeah, we're getting into spider season.
Are we just doomed to have this as a recurring bit?
Look, it's the trouble when you do a show with an Aussie.
God fucking damn it.
We didn't even talk about the spider on my ladder.
No!
Did you see that? He was a fluffy boy. But yeah, so that's the only place I can do it, and I don't really want to go out there to keep doing it.
No.
So,
just that's it. You're just doomed to suffer.
Yeah, my colleague called me while I was out there doing my stretch, and I just started, so I wasn't going to get up to I took the call on my back. It's like, oh, Wayne, how are you, mate? It's like, hey, It's like, how's your knee? It's like, well, I'm actually laying on my back doing rehab for it now. It's like, oh, that's age, mate. It's like, fuck you, buddy. You're in your 50s. Leave me alone. I mean, I'll take it from you, but someone older than me, no. And how's this for a bit of insult to injury? To get to the physio, you have to walk up 16 stairs. I counted them.
That's poor planning.
Maybe, yeah, they were expecting, Chinese restaurant, pool store, veterinarian hospital, physio.
No, you know what that is? That's testing to see if you really, really need physio. If you really need physio, you will suffer up that flight of stairs. Like, yes, you have passed the test.
Anytime I go to the physio or the doctor or whatever, and I tell them what's wrong, I feel like they think I'm lying to them.
Yeah, I think that's life. Unfortunately, I think you and I are cut from the same cloth in that sense.
Yeah, but yeah, it's not fun, and I'm meant to go back, and my health insurance only covers so much, and I'm contemplating not going back.
Nah.
And Kez says, "Oh, but you're going to." So, any other ailments this week for you?
funny you say. I do actually. That I've only just remembered. I somehow managed to whether or not you want to keep this in the actual episode, I don't know. I managed to stab the back of my toe, the back of my heel, the back of my heel with my own toenail.
Oh, okay. That makes some sense.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is the back of your toe?
No.
But the back of the toe would be the top of your toe, but you've done it with your toe into the back of your heel.
Yeah.
Were you like trying to like kick off some shoes, or were you just like already barefoot?
No, I was half asleep in bed, and then sometimes like instead of actually moving, I'll maybe scratch the back of my leg with my toe, and then just move my foot too fast, and I felt, and I've done that before where I've like jabbed it, you know, and thought, oh shit, that hurt.
Well, yeah, it's
But
like you do it with your hands and fingernails all the time as well.
Yeah, but I woke up.
As in people, not
Yeah.
you specifically.
Yeah, it was only the next day that I woke up and it was really, it'd never been that sore before, but I thought, oh, it'll be fine. And then I woke up and thought, what's that mark on my sheet? Oh shit, that's blood. Where's that come from?
What?
And then I looked at the back of my
Wow.
heel and it was covered in blood. I was like,
Oh,
oh shit.
well,
You know,
yeah.
it's okay now. I mean, I can still see it, but it's, yeah.
So stitches weren't required then.
Stitches were not required. A big
Okay.
plaster was.
You know, I think I know what happened, what the cause was.
Don't you
So
dare
you were
fucking say
asleep.
spider. I will fucking kill you.
No, you dreamed that you were on a tram talking to me in a Zoom call and I wasn't paying attention to you. And you were glaring at me and you were getting ready to kick me through the screen and you kicked yourself. That's probably what it was.
So we've agreed that I've done nothing wrong and everything is your fault. I feel like that's
Yes,
the
Brogan has
default
done
position.
nothing wrong.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to go like meta philosophical and be like, oh, there is only one dream world and we are all part of it when we sleep.
No, just that everything is your fault, and I have done nothing wrong.
cool.
That's just the standard.
Yep. You want me to get these final 10 free mental health sessions, don't you?
I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best for my co-host.
So you said something about House of the Dragon
Yes.
that you want to talk about.
I know that you don't watch House of the Dragon or Game of Thrones, but I just want to talk a little bit about this because it makes me laugh so much. So, for background, because you don't know, House of the Dragon, well, you know a little bit, I suppose. House of the Dragon is the prequel to Game of Thrones. It's about 200 years before that. But anyway, the whole thing with Game of Thrones, Song of Ice and Fire, House of the Dragon, whatever, is there's big dragons that conquered.
And they live in houses.
Yeah, they live in big castles and shit. And one of the dragons that originally conquered the land is still alive in House of the Dragon. So it's like, it's fucking old. It's really fucking old. And one of the little brats in House of the Dragon, you know, claimed this dragon to be its dragon rider, whatever. And it's known in the, because House of the Dragon is based on the book Fire and Blood. So it's not a spoiler to say that this dragon and the rider Aemond kills one of the princes and starts a war, basically. So
Have you read the book?
I have not read the book. Well,
Okay,
I've read the Wikipedia.
good enough. You've what are they called? You've Blinkist. You've Blinkisted it.
Yeah, I read the Blinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the book's not an actual book. It's like a textbook. It's like an account by someone else who was there at the time. It's not like a novel.
It's
like a third-hand account. Yeah.
okay,
It's a history book.
Okay. So it's done as a non-fiction book. You know, air quotes non-fiction book.
Yes. So
It's
they're
presented as a non-fiction book.
exactly.
Okay.
So it's which kind of makes the TV series interesting because it's like, well, you're seeing there's no internal monologues in the book. You know, you can see more of what's happening, and okay, I can see how that might have been misconstrued. Blah blah blah. But the funniest thing is because the memes are that this dragon is so fucking old, right? She just thinks that they're conquering Westeros again.
Oh, okay.
So the original rider of this dragon, the dragon's called Vagar, and the original rider was Visenya. New Rider's Aegon. But Aegon's got really long blonde hair. So the joke is that this dragon just looks at Aemma and is like, yeah, come on, let's go conquer Dorne. Just like, yeah, okay, sure. Just this old grandma dragon just wants to relive her days doing war crimes.
Yeah, okay. So it's basically a Nazi war criminal that's been hiding out for a long ass time, and then, you know, moments of lucidity have just gone and it's back in the day.
Pretty much. And it just makes me laugh a lot. Because there's the whole thing of the book is it's implied in the book that the writer Aemond like specifically went out to kill Lucerys and his dragon. And in the show, it's like, no, Vhagar, stop! No, we're not doing this. So he either has to admit to being a kinslayer or he lost control of his dragon.
Yep.
It's like, no, let's not. One of the memes is, no, Vhagar, no, we're not going to do this. It's like, shut up, little boy. I want my snack.
So I'm still a little bit confused about this show. So the book is presented like sticking with the World War II theme. Let's say we went to the local library and we took out a book about World War II. Yes. A history book. It's written like that.
Yes.
Now, the television show, is it someone has based the television show? If you and I were to make a television show based on this World War II history book, or they're saying, no, this is the real account, what the history book is written about?
Probably closer to the latter.
Okay.
It's hard to say because obviously there's not a fiction version of the book that says this is the actual account. But I know that they're working with George R.R. Martin.
Yeah.
Closer, and they're much because it's different producers to Game of Thrones, and they're more closely sticking to what George R.R. Martin is saying, in the sense that he's saying you will need X amount of series to tell this story, and they're saying, okay, let's do that.
Yeah. Okay. And is the story fully written this time?
I think so. I'm not 100% sure. They've done a lot. There's still a lot to come, but George R.R. Martin's saying you'll need 10 series for this.
What? Fucking hell, man.
Well, he said they needed 15 series for Game of Thrones.
And how many did they do?
8. And HBO wanted the full series, and the producers D&D said fuck off.
I think I know where he's coming from, because there is another series that has just started. It's a few episodes in, based on a book franchise, and it's one of my favorite book franchises, and that is the Vampire Chronicles by Anne Rice. Right?
Yes.
Interview with the Vampire, Vampire Lestat, Queen of the Damned, Body Thief, Knock the Devil, and a whole bunch of others. Basically, they have the rights to everything, and that includes the Mayfair Witches series, which is still in the same world. So they're calling it like the Immortal Universe, because it's the whole lot. But I'm watching it, and it is different to the books for starters, and they're just rushing the fuck out of things. It's like, dude, this is meant to be AMC's, like one of AMC's new fucking flagships. They're about to lose The Walking Dead. This is then a new fucking big thing for them. Yeah. But it's like the story is just being rushed, right? And at the end of every episode, like The Walking Dead, they'll talk to like the producer or the director or whatever, the showrunner, and they talk about the show. But he always talks about shit that didn't actually happen in the episode, right? That there's not enough character development. So it's like at the end of the episode, in his wrap up, he's giving you the character development. It's so fucking stupid.
No.
And they do very well to at least to explain why things are different. So Interview with the Vampire is about Louis the Vampire, not Louis from Harry and Louis, Larry. Yeah, Kez looked at me. Who's been turned into a vampire by Lestat, basically. And he is telling his story to a young journalist, right? And that gets turned into a book. and it's in the TV show. What it is that interview did happen, right? Louis and Daniel had the interview when Daniel was a young kid, and well, I say young, like early 20s, and then now he's like 50 or 60 years old, Daniel, and Louis reached out to him again and saying, I want to redo the interview. So that is giving them creative license to change what happened as much as they want, with the excuse that over time your memories like get better, you grow as a person, and the way you saw things then aren't the same as you see them now, which it's not going to do anything great for the TV show, as far as I can see so far, because a lot of this first book is based on a terrible relationship between Louis and Lestat, and basically an abusive relationship on Lestat's part. And there's like hardly any of that going on at all. And they even reference it at one point and saying how it does sound like an abusive relationship. And Louis is like, well, sure, that's how I saw it, 40 years ago when I gave the initial interview. But now I see it with better eyes and the way that it really was. It's like, fucking hell. Now, look, the show, before she died, Anne Rice was involved, and her son Christopher Rice is a producer on the show. So it's still the story they want to tell. So it's not like production company has taken it and just fucking destroyed it, like Warner Brothers and Queen of the Damned, where they
the
Anne
terrible
Rice,
opera or whatever it was.
No.
Oh no, it was
are
a
you
film.
thinking of? Yeah, it's a film. You might be thinking of the Vampire Lestat musical written by Elton John.
I think
also terrible.
I think I'm mixing them both because I knew you liked the music in Queen of the Damned.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Because then Queen of the Anne Rice notably has said that they destroyed her baby. And one time I people were sending her questions on Facebook, so I said, "Oh, I know you don't like the movie, but what did you think of the music?" And her response was something along the lines of, "I actually don't remember any of it. All I remember is running out of the cinema crying at the premiere."
Yikes!
Yeah.
I could
John
never,
DiMaggio. Sorry, you go.
I was going to say I could never get into Vampire Chronicles because I kind of first became aware of it because of fan fiction and that whole thing.
That's right.
And Anne Rice famously would sue anyone who even thought about fan fiction from her characters.
These are mine.
And she's the reason that for a very, very long time there was disclaimers at the top of it.
Which is stupid. I mean, fan fiction, you're not making money out of it or anything like that.
She didn't give a shit.
I know, it's stupid.
Yeah. I always thought she was a bitch for that.
Yeah. I'm expecting people to do fan fiction of my sad pirate now, and I will be fine with it. I will not complain.
Everything I do is technically fan fiction. That's the problem.
Yeah, you do mashups.
I do mashups.
Well, mashups and also directly Penn and Teller, which is fan. Yeah, I consider that fan fiction.
Yeah.
But John DiMaggio is in the Interview with a Vampire. John DiMaggio, the voice of Bender. Yeah. Yeah, I was very surprised. I was like, that's John DiMaggio.
We like John DiMaggio.
Yeah. That's all I have to say about that show for now, but I'm sure it's going to disappoint me more and more as it goes along. But just circling back to House of the Dragon, you confided in me the other day that another house popped up in your life at some point.
I can't believe you're going to make me talk about this on Today of All Days when I'm ill.
I want to know, how did Lord Mr. Dr. House, Hugh Laurie himself, make you cry?
Okay, you want the full story? Okay.
Do I want to know the full story, actually? Do I want to know?
I don't know, but you're going to get it.
All right, do it. We've got time to fill.
I got into watching House when I was in high school, second or third or fourth year. It wasn't very far into high school anyway.
So you're like 14?
Yeah.
Maybe 15?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Around about the time that the fourth season came out on DVD, because I think that was the last.
Okay.
I was up to date anyway.
For those playing at home, Wayne was working.
I was not. I am much younger than Wayne.
7 years, Penn and Teller age gap.
I'd watched all of it. I downloaded the last couple of episodes to my iPod Touch back in the day.
Ooh.
And I was a bit of a teacher's pet in the sense I just did all my shit. Teachers liked me, so I could just do what I wanted sometimes. And one of these times I'd finished all my work, and the teacher in graphic design, CDT, Mr. Collins, very cool guy.
Shout out Mr. Collins.
Sorry, Mr. Collins. Was just like, just do whatever you want. So I sat and watched House, and it was the last two episodes of, I think it was actually the last episode of series 4, which was horrific. Those two episodes are House's Head and Wilson's Heart, in which Wilson, one of my favourite characters, his girlfriend dies. It's horrible to watch, because it's all House's fault.
We've got to say spoilers.
For a show from, 2009? No, fuck that shit. If you don't know by now, fuck it. It was heartbreaking to watch, because Robert Sean Leonard, who plays Wilson, phenomenal actor.
You even know his name. Wow, okay.
Well, because he was in Dead Poets Society, just
Look,
really...
Honestly, I'm impressed that I'm pulling James Wilson as the character name right now, let alone his real name.
Yeah. So, anyway, phenomenal actor, really, really horrifically sad episodes, and watching it in class, and I didn't realise that people could see and hear me crying. I took off my headphones, people were like staring at me and like, are you okay? Like, yeah, I'll be fine, thanks.
I would have made up some excuse, being like, actually, I probably would have said something terrible.
I think it's the fact that I didn't really I wasn't a crybaby or anything. People were just like, what the fuck is wrong with Brogan?
Something devastating must have happened in Brogan's life.
Yeah, the only other time I can remember crying in school was when I was, one of our maths teachers grew a chili pepper tree, and it ended up with a single chili on it, and he said, someone take this and eat this. And me being this stubborn, pig-headed brat I was like, I'll do it. I'm like, yeah, okay, there you go. And I ate it before class. The next period was physics, and I remember sitting down and Mr. Houston looking at me and going, what the fuck have you done? And like my eyes were watering. I was like, I can't breathe, sir. He's like, just fucking... I was like, I've had water. He's like, don't drink fucking water, you idiot. Yeah. It's like, you need to drink milk. Stay there.
Or orange juice.
The staff room and got me a cup of milk. I was like, thank you.
Like, do you know what type of chili it was? Was it just a little bird's eye or something? What was it?
It was a decent size. How you would imagine a red chili pepper.
Okay, so like one of those like thin, curvy red ones as opposed to like a fat jalapeno or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, they can have some heat. Look, for
because all the heat's in the seeds, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I didn't know that, so I just bit off the green bit and chucked that away and ate the rest of it like an idiot.
How do you go with chilies and food like that then? Spicy food.
I can eat it. I don't like to.
I like a little bit, but yeah.
No, I like curries and stuff. I like a korma. I like creamy. I like sweet. You know.
That's our go-to is a korma.
Yeah. Korma and a pashwiri naan. Oh.
And a what?
Pashwiri naan. That's the one that's got like raisins and coconut, and it's actually an actual cake. It's an actual cake of naan bread.
Yeah. Let's say I'm picturing like a flatbread thing, and then you said raisins in it. What?
Yeah.
But so it is a flatbread with raisins in it. Look, the most exotic we get here is like garlic naan. We Naan. We say naan as opposed to nan. Well, I say naan.
It's because of the accent.
Yeah. I know what it is, but like I said, like the most exotic ours get here are like garlic, and that's it.
So you've never had a pashwiri naan? That's horrific.
I've had an Italian nan. She died on my birthday. True story. And then I think that was my grandfather's mother, and then I think my grandmother's mother died on my brother's birthday.
Wayne's tragic
I could
life
be getting
stories.
this wrong. I could be getting this wrong. I really don't know.
No, no. Okay, so the next time we're going to meet in person will obviously be in Vegas because that's where we meet. So we're gonna have to ask Piff, because we know Piff and Jade like curry. Where's the best place to get a curry in Vegas? And can we get a pashmiri naan there? And you're gonna have to try pashmiri naan because that's one of my favorite things in the world.
If they have it, sure.
I can't imagine them not having it. Speaking
of Piff, there is only one House of the Dragon, and that is where Mr. Piffles lives.
Oh, I think that's the season finale of House of the Dragon. That's what Song of Ice and Fire actually refers to, because obviously with Piff being an Englishman and coming from a very cold country, that's the ice part, and he's a dragon, so there's fire. So mystery solved.
Now, I haven't got an idea in my head yet, but I've written it down for a Piff comic. Mm-hmm. It has to be House of the Dragon, surely. Mm-hmm. So, when you were saying that you cried watching House at school,
yes,
I thought it was like the whole class was watching it or something like that, which is a bit more excusable.
No,
not excusable, but
that's why it was horrific. I had headphones in. I was watching it on an iPod Touch, and I looked up to find the whole class. I was at the back of the class, and the whole class turned around and was like,
"Was there anyone pointing and or laughing?"
No,
Well, that's something.
I was the kind of kid that folk were like, people liked me. I obviously there probably were some that didn't, but they were all like,
no, always is.
Brogan's pretty cool. Brogan will have our backs. So I wasn't really bullied or made fun of for that kind of thing. They were just like, yeah, Brogan's not okay. We'll just leave them alone.
So which one's the iPod Touch? Is that did it look like an iPhone and was just an iPod? Or was this
that was the one that
iPhone?
looked like an iPhone 3 but was skinny.
Yep. Okay.
Still had the home button but the big screen.
Did you have any other like MP3 player? Oh, microphone abuse. Did you have any other MP3 players or anything like that?
Oh God,
or was that like your only? Yeah.
Because I remember, because the ones back when I started high school was the rage was the ones that were USB sticks essentially.
Oh fucking hell, man!
I miss them. They were great.
I hate them so much. See, me, it's go big or go home. My first MP3 player was a fucking giant 40 gig hard drive. It was a Creative Nomad Jukebox Zen Extra. This is Creative, the same people who make like Sound Blaster, sound cards and things like that. So it had great audio. It's like this big block thing. I'll put a picture of it up on the socials. But it died, right? And it was under warranty. And they couldn't replace it with another Creative Nomad Jukebox Zen Extra. Sorry, Zen NX. That's what it was. Creative Nomad Jukebox Zen NX is what it was called. So they had to replace it with They had to. Well, that's when they replaced it with a Creative Nomad Jukebox Zen NX Extra.
Why?
Which was now a 60 gig hard drive, bigger screen, blue backlight instead of green. When I say backlight, I'm talking like Nokia 3310 style screen here. Not like a real screen. You couldn't watch a video or anything on it like that. It was like a phone screen. But the cool one has the green light, not the blue light. Or maybe it's the other way around. Yeah, the cool one had the blue light, not the green light. Yeah.
No, back in the day, like the little cheap USB stick things, the ones that had to keep opening up the battery pack and jamming a screwdriver in so that the battery connector would work.
Yeah.
See,
no, I'm talking rechargeable battery, hard drive.
No.
None of these little earbuds, over ears, of course. I've always tried to be early on that sort of stuff. Because when I decided I wanted an MP3 player, I was driving around everywhere. Not me. I was being driven around everywhere to all these different stores. Like, hey, do you sell MP3 players? And like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Even went to one place. Like, do you sell MP3 players? What are you talking about? That's just software. Windows Media Player will play it. An MP3. It's like, no, you uncultured swine. I'm talking about a physical device that you load up with music you can carry around with you and listen to on the fly. There was even a creative store, and they had no idea what I was talking about.
I don't remember the conversations of I would like an MP3 player or anybody give. I just remember owning an MP3 player. I don't remember it.
You just remember them always being in your life? Is that what you're saying?
Not even that. I remember a time before MP3 players. Because I remember CD players. I remember portable CD players.
Yeah.
I just don't remember the point at which I got one and was told here.
I was 18, I think, when I got my first MP3 player. Yeah, I would have been around 18.
I would have been younger than 12 because I know I had one for my first year of high school.
Yep. Yeah, I couldn't even have one for my last year of high school. So you were watching House on your iPod, and I said that you should have made up some kind of terrible excuse. And the excuse I was going to go for was, oh, my mother died or something like that. And I was like, no, I wouldn't even ever say that. I said that one time to someone at school.
No!
Yes. He was an asshole, though. And I put him in his place because he said something like, oh, I fucked your mum. It's like, yeah, well, my mum's dead. And that shut him up. I
think that's the only acceptable use.
Yeah. But after class, because he was friends with my friend, and he comes up to me and is like, so your mum's dead. And we both just start laughing. It's like, that's what we told him. And then he comes up to me and he's like, you're an asshole, man. I felt really bad for what I said. It's like, good, so you should.
Mm-hmm. Fuck that guy.
Yeah. That was he that was D-Man. D-Man, he would call himself. Daniel Mann, spelled with 2 N's at the end of his name.
No. Gross.
Yeah. I mean, I got nothing. I'm lost. Oh, it's gotten very warm though. Probably the Matt Donnelly flop sweats from terrible stories and memories.
The very real flop sweats from the very real Matthew Donnelly.
See, I do. I feel like I can relate with Matt Donnelly on a lot of things when it comes to podcasting. Naturally, I'm the second fiddle to the Brogan Hastings, aka Paul Mattingly.
You've got a ginger beard.
That's right, but I also have ginger hair though. See, That's where we differ. I have mostly a full head of hair. Mostly.
Not for long.
Shut up. Look, we're focusing on the bum knee right now, and that is it.
Sorry, every time I hear those kind of not for long jokes, I think of where soon in Tumblr said I have an IQ of 5.5.
Wait, who said this? Wait.
This was a thing on Tumblr that somebody put a post up that said, I have an IQ of 5.5. And someone said, not for long. It's like, please, that's all I have.
I don't understand the logic on how it's not for long.
That's the point. Tumblr jokes are a different breed, man.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to think of funny hashtags to say on our Tumblr posts now. And I was scheduling Tuesday's episode, and I can't remember what I wrote. That's how good it was. So I'm going to need to start browsing Tumblr to see how people write on Tumblr.
Well, I mean, you've seen how I write on Tumblr. I mean, like,
No, I haven't. I haven't...
Like, hang on. Okay, here's a... I'm just going through, because I was looking at this person's Tumblr anyway. Here's a type from this. Get you a man that is so ambiguous. That man will literally eat anything.
What?
Do you know what I'm looking at?
Is this a question for me right now? I don't understand.
You could probably guess.
I don't know what
Get
you're
you a man
talking
that
about.
is so ambiguous and he will eat anything.
Oh.
You're
What?
talking to me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Teller will eat anything.
Yeah, I'm looking
Of
at posts.
course.
Yeah. Here's one from one of my posts. The only good Tory is a dead Tory, specifically this one.
Which one was it? Was it the person who just like stepped down?
No, it was Mr. Julian Fawcett MP.
Oh, yes, of course. That makes sense. See, I've just gone for, on the last episode, obviously we were talking about your streaming portal and stuff. So I've gone with the usual hashtags, like podcast, new episode 16, portal. But then I've also said hashtag the cake is a lie is so 2007. And then hashtag what do you mean Brogan never played portal before? Then hashtag fucking tragic.
Yeah, that's exactly how you write Tumblr tags.
Yeah.
Like, you just, it's an entirely separate post. It's a post within a post. That's
Okay.
what you do. Very, very rarely do you use it to actually tag things. I mean,
Yeah.
even the things that you tag usually have like custom tags. Like for example, anything about John Cleese on my Tumblr is tagged JJ Marwood.
Okay.
Right? Anything that's about Eric Idle is a man who can do both.
Yeah.
You know, it's custom tags. You just talk in there. Quite often you say stuff like "I'm a crying disaster."
Every single post that would be me.
Yep. Yeah. You just it's a whole post. It's a post within a post.
Okay. You know what's been really interesting about this episode?
But
It's just been one giant 7-Eleven walk. There's been no bits at all.
yes. This I like. Yeah. I probably. I don't know if I could concentrate on a bit.
Yeah. Look, there's certainly been parts where we've struggled, and yeah, not our best work. I'm going
No.
to say that for some of it, sure. There's been some points where obviously edited out where I think we're just staring at each other through the screens, like I've been ignoring you while you've been catching a tram. But I think that's probably a cue to start wrapping things up. Look, I'm not going to blame you, dear listener. It's not your fault why we've not done any bits. Like, you just haven't sent in any accent challenges. I mean, what's wrong with you? Why would you not do that? Yeah, it's a good thing that you haven't sent in any. I'm addressing you as if you're one person.
Our one solo listener. This is for you. Hi, Mom.
No, all of the listeners are a conglomerate, and they designate one listener every week, now twice a week, which you may have noticed. Hey, 2 episodes a week, everybody. Speaking of which, this is just a trial run. So we're going to do it for a couple of weeks and a few weeks, see how it goes. But we want to know if this is good or bad, if you prefer once a week, longer episode, or these shorter, more digestible episodes, but a couple of times a week.
But those are your only 2 options because we will not shut up.
Yes.
Just
we have
point blank fact.
Yeah. Unless we've got nothing to talk about and we just stare at each other through the cameras for
But we always
minutes at a
find
time.
something. We always find something.
Eventually, yes. But yeah, let us know. Either shoot us an email. Yeah, there you go. I didn't say write us. I said shoot us an email this time. admin@nicepodbud.com, or tell us on Twitter. You can just say, hey, Brogan and Wayne, you guys suck at doing 2 episodes a week. Bring back the single episode format. Or, like, man, what the fuck were you even thinking doing 1 episode a week? You should have been doing 2 from the beginning. Like, yeah, whatever you think. And we will take it on board. We will consider your thoughts. We've already been seeing some before we've started doing this, which is good. So, yeah, we're just trying to, like I said, I think it was episode 1, it's going to take 4, maybe 500 episodes till we get our groove.
Yeah. If we, I mean, that's a lot of episodes, man.
It is. But if we're doing 2 a week,
Yeah, that's true.
that's half the time. I think, hang on, let me check the maths. 1 goes into 2. Yeah, that's half the time it would take if we were doing 1 episode a week.
Yourselves, everyone. Wayne's doing Perth maths.
We're not cleared to use that music, so that is getting edited.
I mean, sung very badly by a very sick person.
And who knows? We don't run the sales on our store, but at the moment there's a sale, and if it's still going, you can get our products at what is it, like 25% off or some shit like that.
Something like
It's
that.
pretty it's pretty decent discount. Buy yourself something nice. I give you permission.
Treat
you
yourself.
deserve to feel good. You've worked hard. It's been a long week. Yeah, get something nice. But otherwise, you can find us on all social media at NicePodBud, or you can just talk to Brogan and, send condolences, because clearly they're going to have died by this time, by the time that this episode is out, at 7 billion needles.
And if you want to speak to Wayne, it's at Wayne Geo.
Yeah, it is. That's the end of the show. So thanks for having a listen. And I'm talking when I shouldn't be, because Brogan needs to say something.
I know, I was wondering when you were going to stop. And as always, stay fresh, cheese bags.